Hello, everybody. Whoa, that's hot. Hello, everybody. Welcome to ExtraNormal Podcast, where we tell abnormal stories. Alongside me is... Hold on. Oh, the negative energy.
Brianna.
Positivity.
What?
I'm going to become Buddhist.
What is hot? What do you... Why did you yell, whoa, that's hot?
Because my levels were too high.
Oh.
Came in real hot.
Sorry. I mean, how else am I supposed to react?
I don't know. Hey there, everybody. My name's Christoph, and alongside me is...
Brianna.
And this is ExtraNormal Podcast, where we tell abnormal stories for these extra normal times. Brianna, how are you?
Everything is really good.
Yeah, everything's coming up roses?
Yeah.
Sunshine and roses.
And rainbows.
What's new with you? Anything new in the news for local Brianna news?
It's almost my birthday month.
Yeah.
Applause, please.
Hold for applause.
Other than that, I mean, birthdays are always exciting, right?
Yeah.
I mean, for me at least. I know some people hate birthdays. I love birthdays.
I'm kind of lukewarm about birthdays. I like getting the foods I like and having like being able to do kind of like what I want, like a freedom day. But I don't, a lot of
I like to dress up. I think that's for me what it's really about. Just like, just having a relaxing day, getting ready, going to a nice dinner, feeling pampered. I like that.
Mine is wearing shorts, going to Carl's Jr. Hey, you didn't mention the fact that we're now real fucking cinephiles.
What?
We're cinephiles now.
Why?
Because we've seen 2 movies in the space in a movie
Why is that
theater.
called a cinephile?
It's just called, it's what it's called.
Oh, okay.
Fancy term.
All right.
You never heard cinephile before?
I haven't.
Until tonight.
Is that an old people term?
I can't imagine it's a young person's term. It's like it's an artiste term. Yeah, but we've seen 2 movies.
2 great movies.
In the movie theaters in the span of a week. We saw Godzilla -1, which was fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
Even with the subtitles, I was a little bit worried that I was going to be like, but no, it was really good.
Yeah, that was amazing. And then we saw Poor Things, which I thought was really good.
Poor Things was marvelous, remarkable, innovative, creative, takes you out of your comfort zone movie. Sure. That I know for us those are movies that we kind of like regardless. Like we like those different type of movies. So I think it was, just go and see it.
Yeah.
Don't bring your children, but go see it.
You do not bring your children. That's not a wise move. I really like the look. I like some of the
concept.
Messaging. Yeah.
The costumes. Oh my gosh, the wardrobe was incredible.
It was.
The architecture, just how they brought art into it. Just the skies just look all watercolory and just, it was very just inspiring on that level. Of course, the concept was like next level, but
sure.
Yeah. If people don't have any clue what this movie's about, it's, without spoiling it, we'll just give you a Bride of Frankenstein modern twist.
It's also, it's a play on like, what if, there's a lot of morality questions, and it's what if you installed someone who didn't have the preambles of society, dropped them right into fucking society and gave them the crash course and everything. Yeah. So it's good. It's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. And the way that she really just, her emotions and everything, you could see like the overwhelmingness just in her face, in her demeanor, overstimulated, just being in the world, and realizing it for what it truly is. And it's very, very incredible.
It was amazing. It was amazing. You know what's not amazing? It's some of the new stuff that I've found out. We're going to get into the wacky world of the internet. I found online that a Kansas couple was charged with collecting a man's retirement while keeping his body in their home for 6 years, which actually kind of has a little bit of vibes of the funeral home story.
He was dead?
He was dead. And this comes from AP News. A Kansas couple has been charged with fraudulently collecting more than $215,000 in retirement benefits on behalf of a dead relative while they concealed his body inside their home for 6 years. So he was a relative. I mean, we'll give him that.
Did they kill him?
Authorities say Mike Carroll's pacemaker showed that he died in 2016 at age 81. So probably not. They probably didn't kill him. He probably just died, and like we like these retirement checks because he's probably lived with them. And he probably helped.
He lived with them. Okay.
He probably helped like with like rent, mortgage, whatever. Like, and,
oh my God.
But Overland Park police didn't discover his body until 2022, so just about a year and a half ago, after his son-in-law, Kirk Ritter, called police to report his death in the Kansas City suburb. Prosecutors say Lynn Ritter and Kirk Ritter, both 61, continued depositing and spending from Carroll's bank account even while his body became mummified on a bed in the home he owned.
He just like left his body there.
Yeah, Lynn Ritter was Carroll's daughter. So this is his daughter and his son-in-law were just left him in the bed to mummify.
But bugs, rotting smell, like
kind of reminds you of the Mother God too thing, right? Where it's like you're just leaving.
Like
yeah.
I don't understand. How do you do that to your
How do you do that to your dad?
But how do you let him in your, like, the idea that he's in the house, like,
and
go on welfare, like, go, like, I mean,
figure something out.
There's so many other options.
There's a lot of other options. Family members told the Kansas City Star that the Ritters would repeatedly give them excuses about why Carroll could never take a phone call or visit, while leading them to believe that Carroll was still alive. So for 6 years, they went on the straight, oh, he's busy. Oh, he's like tired. Oh,
his name was Carroll?
The last name.
His last name.
Hold on. Mike Carroll's. Yeah, the last name was Carroll.
Wow.
His daughter is Lynn Ritter because she took on.
So she lied to other family members that he was still alive? Lynn
and Kirk, that's the daughter and son-in-law, they would just like, his brother would call or whatever, and they would say, oh, he can't come to the phone because he's sleeping or he's mowing the lawn, or
and the brother like, never wanted to come and visit.
I mean, I don't know if there's an actual brother making it, but all family and friends, they all constant, which leaves me to believe that Mike, the dad, probably didn't have a ton of friends and family that were like, because you would imagine that they would get louder and louder as 6 years came to pass.
So I'm assuming they're going to prison.
Yes. The couple is due to appear in federal court to face charges on February 2nd. So in less than a week for your birthday month, they're going to be facing charges. Happy birthday.
Wow.
They didn't respond to phone and email messages from the newspaper, and court documents do not list a defense attorney. That's going to be a public defender, I'd imagine. Prosecutors said the pension and Social Security payments Carroll received over the 6 years after his death totaled $216,000. Which is a lot. But bank records from that time showed checks being written from his bank account and cash by Lynn and Kirk. So they basically kept his body on a bed, and for some reason, they don't get into a lot of details, maybe on February 2nd, and thereafter, once the trial starts, we'll get a little more details, but they eventually said, okay, we're done cashing checks, and they called the police and said, hey, we have dad-in-law, because I think
they were the ones who called?
Kirk called the police.
Did they get caught, though? Or, I mean,
they must have had wind, or their checks ran dry. They must have had some reasoning for eventually calling the police, or maybe... that's a long time for your conscience to finally call, but
I wonder how they were cashing his checks.
Oh, they probably just signed his name. They probably and 81. I mean, maybe dad has a joint account with daughter.
Yeah,
something to that effect, or maybe at that point there's so many situations where.
He could deposit it on the phone.
They're depositing on the phone. Yeah. They're caretaking dad, so dad is giving over his checks already, but he died. He's giving his checks to for them to
house or
buy groceries
and,
or whatnot and what have you. But
wow.
Yeah, that's a long stretch.
I don't know how people could live with themselves.
I don't know. I don't know how you can. And I feel like a retirement check, like if you, let's say, I don't know, this is going to show my lack of accounting and retirement planning skills, but I imagine, because I put into a 401k like a good suburban does, I would imagine if something happened to me, then it would like why would you need to fake my death? I would hope that my 401k would just go to you.
Right.
And then if we both kick the bucket, it would just go to our daughter. I don't know. I don't get the scheme for retirement. Why do you need to fake like he's alive? Wouldn't that go to you? It's very bizarre.
I don't know. For daughter, I don't think the daughter would get his retirement.
I think retirement.
His wife, but his wife.
But it sounds like wife's not around.
Yeah.
if wife's around, wife's not very present.
Yeah.
She's not.
Maybe she's
not holding down the fort for sure. But Social Security, that makes sense actually, because Social Security, you're getting that from the government. I can't imagine that there's any kind of inheritance on Social Security. Once you're dead, it's just you lose. Social Security goes bye-bye. So maybe that's what they were leaning on. But that is wild. That is wild. Like,
that is a crazy story.
I can't believe that. So if I were to scheme up this idea, like I knew I was not long for this world, right? I knew I had, let's say, 6 months to live. And I told you, hey, not even, let's go off the premise like that, like housing me on the bed. If I told you, hey, hide the fact that I'm dead so that you can still collect on checks, would you do that?
No.
No? You'd want a big fancy funeral from me?
I mean, first of all, I wouldn't want you to go,
And
but
not to
like
go to jail and fraud.
At the same time, like
You don't want to conduct fraud?
like yeah, you don't want to conduct fraud. But for me, the biggest thing is a corpse living in the house. Like,
It's gross.
it's like, I love you, but you know what I mean? I want to remember you as you are, you know, not a decaying.
Mummified, they said he was. Slightly mummified.
I
Disgusting.
wonder, was he an alcoholic or something? Like, how
did it mummify?
How do you naturally mummify?
High salt diet. I don't know how you mummify.
Yeah.
I know that happens. I know that happens up in the Alps and stuff like that. People naturally mummify. I know there's certain conditions where people will mummify if you get left out in the natures of things.
That makes sense if you're outside.
Chilling in a house, I don't know how you get mummified without
wild.
the actual procedures.
Yeah,
of like,
it makes me think that he liked to drink or something.
yeah. Would you want to be mummified if you could? Obviously, with the context of like
the
you don't
Egyptian way.
believe
Okay, I
that
was gonna say like kind of goes against my religion, but I love the
Does it?
I love
Is
the
there, like-
concept. Well, because it's a for me like there are other countries that do mummification, but I think of ancient Egypt.
that's
you know,
that's the first
the
go to. That's what
Almighty.
everybody goes
You know,
to.
so for
First
me,
thought, at
it's like if I did, it would have to be that way. It would have to be the traditional
Then the
Egyptian
brain
way.
poker, picking out the brains
like
or the
strip it out.
okay.
You know, yeah. I would want it to be
Pretty
the-
metal, even if you don't believe it's gonna carry to the underworld.
But it would really be cool to see, like, I mean, for science, like 2,000 years from now, that my body would still be preserved. That's kind of cool.
Do you think Frankenstein
You know,
bring you back to life?
not that preserved, but you know, enough to where they could, when we've seen mummies.
We've seen mummies. They feel like they might
so.
come back to life any second now. When I look at them, I'm like, this is
Really?
no, not really, but it's that eerie feeling. Like this is too for being
You look so good for your age.
for being dead for multiple
How
millennia.
much Botox
Like
did you get?
it looks too preserved, obviously.
Yeah.
So there's always that, and I've watched too many horror films, and I grew up on Universal Monsters was like the starter plate because my dad was a bit of a wuss, so we didn't really watch the hardcore stuff. So it was all like classic universe. So I have the Mummy in my brain every time I see mummies. But is there? I wonder that that
Would
brings.
you?
No.
Why?
Too much effort.
Oh my God.
Don't do that. Don't do that. I mean, if you wanted to do it, I guess so. If it made you happy, if you made me into a mummy.
If funds are available, I think it'd be really
Has
cool.
anybody ever stuffed a human? You know, you stuff your cats, has anybody ever stuffed a human?
Oh, no, don't.
I don't. Well, I mean, I guess so. Eva, from the Eva Perón from Argentina, she was basically stuffed, essentially, and preserved. But I don't think has any
Didn't want to
human
know.
well, you're gonna find out. Been stuffed.
Like taxidermied? Taxidermy.
In conclusion, human taxidermy has a long history that spans centuries. While it has become a popular trend in recent years, it remains illegal worldwide due to ethical and legal considerations.
Thank you.
As society continues to
I'm
evolve,
glad.
it is important to consider the implications of our actions on both humans and animals. So no. I mean, I'm not advocating for anybody to get that done, including myself. Don't stuff me and put me on the mantle.
Again, it's that just so just the that's it's a corpse. It's still,
Yeah.
But it's weird though because I'm totally okay with us to do with my cat that's sitting right next to us right now.
Yeah.
I would love to.
What's
do
the
that
difference? Why is the cat important enough to stuff, but not me?
It's
You wouldn't want to see me like as you walk through the door.
No,
I could have like a permanent wave, and just like you could put a little voice box in there.
You'd be lifeless. I mean, at least
Hi,
I
Brianna.
could still pet the cat. I wouldn't want to touch you.
With AI, you could totally we'll record like 20 minutes of my just talking, just standard speech, like conversational stuff.
No,
And you could put a little voice box
I'm picking
with
up
the
what you're putting down.
AI,
I'm not for
and I'll
it.
have like a waving formation. And then when you walk through the door, I'll be like your Alexa. I could play music for you.
No,
You don't want to put
Nope.
speakers in me? This sounds nice for you.
no,
Even if I got it set up. What's Elon Musk's number?
definitely not.
Hey, did you hear he put the first Neuralink in a human patient? Remember that brain chip?
Oh God, he convinced somebody to do it.
Yeah, of course. There's got probably a line of like deep Elon believers who are waiting to get that chip done.
Really?
And there's probably to give Elon some
I mean, yeah, I guess he has like a dumb following.
Yeah, and he's got a lot of like
Because like I think
cult
the
bros.
idea,
Like he's got a lot of people who worship him as a
the idea
genius.
that I think bothers me the most about him is that he wasn't even the creator of Tesla. That
No.
he was, and so people look at him like he's the face for Tesla. He is Tesla, and he was basically just an investor. And it's just like, so that's why when people jump when he wants to do this kind of stuff, it's like.
Also, well, he is a very smart guy. There's no doubt that he's a very
True.
smart guy. But like you said, he was the financier essentially for PayPal, and then he was the financier for Tesla, and he's done a lot of stuff with SpaceX. But he has a lot of brilliant people working for him who are spearheading a lot of this stuff. Mm-hmm. He's also had like a lot of like failures, which to his credit, that comes with science. You're going to have failures. So he goes for stuff. You got to give him a credit for that. He just goes for stuff. That's good.
Marriages, failures.
Yeah, marriages and all that stuff. But I can't imagine being like with some of the issues that the Tesla cars have had initially and some of for after that. We know some people who've had some Tesla issues. With SpaceX, at least in the beginning, all the rockets blowing up.
All my
Which is all trial and error.
all
Which
my
is his
clients
credit is
that
all trial
have
and error.
gotten the Falcon doors, which really drew me to wanting a Tesla
They all
originally.
fuck up, right?
To this day, they cannot get the Falcon doors, and then every time they bring them in, it's like, oh, it's just an update that we need, and they still don't work. They go up like halfway. It's just like they're not reading something. And to me, I'm like that. If you're not even there, if you're not even like, if you're not even at that level to open a Falcon door, you're not putting a chip in my brain. I'm sorry.
But what about people who need it? What about people who it's a life-saving?
We've talked about this before.
Functionality.
The idea, I remember I watched the whole fucking YouTube video about his innovative.
Was it him talking in that interview?
Yeah, and it was his whole concept of what he was going to do.
Yeah.
And for me, the biggest fear was that you put a Bluetooth in someone's head and it doesn't turn off or it just starts connecting to like people's
Terrible music.
like when they're in people's houses and you can't turn that off. That's scary.
Yeah.
Because like it's different, but the same in the sense of science. Like it's when they first like years ago, like early 2000s, late 90s, they decided that they were going to do implants in women's and implant them with birth control. And so they implanted women with birth control and were like, oh, like every day it's going to just give you the right amount that you need. And I remember one of my friends got it, and the whole time I was like, don't do it. Don't do it. And she's like, oh, no, it's fine. I'm lazy. Like, this is the best way. And I'm like, it's man-made. Like, the flaws. We're flawed humans. Like,
Sure.
and 10 years later, like, come to find out, it caused all these issues. It was releasing too many hormones at once. It's fucking scary. She could have got cancer. Like, so many things were wrong there. And she's like 10 years younger than me. So, I mean, who knows if she can even have kids, but it ended up being really serious. So it's like stuff like that where it's like, yeah, it seems like it's great. And like you said, people need it. Like people need birth control because people don't just use birth control to not get pregnant. They need it to like help regulate their periods.
Sure.
And there's all these other things that it helps with, for their bodies. But it's just like too much birth control. And then you're worrying about Bluetooth. I don't know. How about it being so close to your brain that you're getting too much, I don't know.
Microwave.
Yeah.
Waves or whatever.
It's like cooking
up
you
your
away.
brain.
Yeah.
And it's like, there is, I don't know if, did you see that movie with that? What's that movie where it's really, really fun, kind of, I guess, technically a horror movie, but more actiony than horror. So the movie's called Upgrade. We should watch it together. It's a really good film. But it was about, essentially the setup was, I'm not giving any spoilers because this is the first 10 minutes of the movie, but we're at the point where like in the society is in autopilot driving mode, right? And there's these thieves who hack into this couple's autopilot on their whatever Tesla equivalent, like a 10 years down the road Tesla equivalent. I don't know if Tesla is going to be around or not. I'm sure they will be, but anyways, it's that type of car that's on autopilot, and these thieves know how to hack into that autopilot, and basically they directed this, and I have to figure out the name of the movie because people are going to shout at me for not naming the movie, but they direct the wife and husband into this alley where they rob and they murder the wife. And so that kind of thing I constantly think about in terms of automation and how we are on a grid. What if, and we had a conversation about something similar to that, like chips and stuff like that. And I told you that one of my biggest concerns is not our own government going in and hacking us and that kind of stuff, because they want to keep us on the hamster wheel. Their objective is not to just, but it's these foreign entities that'll go in, these criminals that'll go in and then hack the system and fuck up the grid and just destroy our brain, melt our brain or whatever it is, play Smash Mouth for 24 hours straight until we give up and surrender our land.
You
like,
would love it.
That kind of thing. I would love it, but I mean, people would give up. I would be
give
steadfast.
I give up for sure.
I'm not giving up. That kind of stuff freaks me out.
Well, we were just talking about earlier about getting like implants, like because you always lose your wallet, and I was like, you'd probably be the fucking first to line up to get a chip put in you with your fucking bank account.
I think that's what
so
led
you
that
could be
on.
swiping, and you don't even have to fucking worry where your wallet is. Like, I could just see you getting fed up and wanting to do it, and I'm the opposite. Like, I would never want a chip in me. I'm sorry, like I don't.
Yeah, it freaks me out on both ends, as you were saying that it freaks me out if it doesn't work, because it's going to melt my brain, and it freaks me out if it works because someone else could flip a switch to melt my brain. I feel like either way I'm going to get my brain melted.
I feel like you're giving Elon Musk like the power to be the god of you. This person is, that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
Because you have this trust in your God, Elon, and you're going to be like hoping that, tweak it and make it a little better. And then Elon's going to, because I mean, he's in a mindset where he's not very empathetic, like in the sense of like, like compassion where he's like, this is science, I'm doing this for science, I'm doing this for science, when he could be really hurting this person.
Yeah.
You know, like I was telling you, like what if there's some type of radiation or with this chip in your head? Like there's so many things that we don't know about it. Yes, for the future it could be great. And yes, there has to be that one person that is like, yes, I will give myself up for, you know, science. But I don't know, it's really scary.
It's very scary. And one of the famous things that's floating around about Elon is someone who used to work with him who might have a grudge. So this might be a little biased, but apparently he said that Elon Musk, I'm going to probably paraphrase this and butcher it, but he said that essentially Elon Musk wants to save the world as long as it's him saving the world, which is scary because it's a man trying to save the world based on his singular belief system.
That's exactly what
which
I'm
is
talking
scary
about.
for anybody.
It basically means he will go to any extent
Sure.
to follow his scientific experiments
Yes.
on us to better us, you know? So that's it. It all like that makes sense.
Yeah.
That completely makes sense. What a narcissist.
And he is a narcissist. That, I mean, as brilliant as you can think he is a narcissist. And the scary part, and it's not as scary because Tesla's losing a little bit of the market share, but there is a world where Tesla is potentially, it's not so much now, but Tesla is the predominant cars on the road. The Starlink is the predominant internet that's being provided by Elon. SpaceX is the predominant form of space travel provided by Elon, and Neuralink is the predominant brain chip provided by Elon. So all these companies could tether into all our lives. So his worldview could be enforced in some ways if he controls the cars, if he controls the internet, if he controls space travel in a lot of ways, if he controls
for sure. But I
stuff.
think just like some of our close friends have told us, like, you know, we've learned this, and I think other people out there with Teslas are learning this. If you buy a used one that is like 10 years old, because now we finally are at that point where when the first Teslas came out versus like now,
we're a few models in at this point.
people are realizing that, oh my God, like to get a used Tesla, to upgrade it, I mean, you have to have the money. It's not just like getting a used car, fixing a couple parts here and there. I mean, it's basically like, they're like lemons.
They're like, well, they're iPads on wheels, essentially. It's what they are. I mean,
but
a lot of
it's
electric cars are that
it
way, but
goes
they're
from
iPads
like
on
one
wheels.
thing to the next thing to the next
simplify
thing, and it's just thousands of dollars you're running down the drain. And then once you've spent all that money and you finally got it to where you want it to be, guess what? The battery's gonna fucking go out, and then you're fucked.
So you just got to get yourself a 57 Chevy.
And then who wants to buy a new fucking battery? You know,
Not
at that
those
point, just
ones
buy a new
especially.
car. So all those fucking cars are just gonna get dumped. Because after all the stuff that you have to do to fix up the computer and whatnot, and then like, who wants to deal with that? And so I think that like when we're looking at the future and we're trying to go green, and that's like the concept of where we're trying to go, these cars are going to be so useless, and those big ass batteries are going to go where?
That's an issue that has to be dealt with. The thing that I always tell people about electric cars
I
right
mean,
now,
if they have a way to just like recycle them to recharge,
in some ways they do. Some ways they do. Yeah.
We have to get there because everybody wants to go electric, not even just with Tesla, but it's a scary future.
Well, everybody's going to, I mean, look at just even commerce. Look, if FedEx has gone electric, I think. Maybe not, but definitely Amazon Prime. So a lot of those delivery trucks are electric. United States Postal Service has gone electric in their vehicles. So the electric is quickly becoming the future, and we might hit a wall with that for sure. The problem is what I tell a lot of people is it's kind of our best solution for now. It's like a Band-Aid a little bit because it still sucks up a little bit of the environment. It's not as renewable as the ideal perfect utopian world is, but here we are. Get used to it. People like the mileage. People like to just charge their car. They're tired of forking over gas and staring at gas prices and see how much that is and all that good stuff. But want to hear about more murder?
Do I have a choice?
No, you don't, because I found this one and I'm dying to tell you. Police charged a man with killing a suburban Philly neighbor after feuding over defendant's loud snoring. And we have some neighbors, and I was
That snore?
well, they don't snore, but they were doing construction work, and I felt fairly closer than I like to admit to being this neighbor.
Yeah.
Like it's
Well,
sometimes
because it was like right next to our bedroom, so it was just like.
For context, they were doing a roof. They were redoing a roof, and so it was like hammering and hammering and hammering and hammering and hammering.
And they started, to our defense, like at 7 a.m, which is like so disrespectful. Like, I mean, come on. I mean, yeah, we're like, I had to get up, to get Clementine ready, but like isn't it supposed to start like after 9 or something like that?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Is that 9? That's fairly late.
After 8.
Late.
I feel like it's after 8 for
I didn't
sure.
look into the laws.
So, so it's just kind of like, fuck.
Well, I mean, it's done, but, this might give you inspiration. Suburban Philadelphia man, this is from AP News. Suburban Philadelphia man is accused of stabbing to death a neighbor with whom he had long feuded over the accused man's loud snoring that could be heard through a wall connecting their homes, authorities said on Friday.
Do they live in condos?
It must be like a condo where they're sharing a wall.
Like where we used to live. Like
we never really had
my mom's condo.
Yeah, we used to live in a condo. We never heard snoring or fucking or anything like that.
Probably because the
walls were pretty thick, I think. These must have been thin walls.
Yeah, but our bedroom was also. But even still, yeah, we never heard any
and
she was
wayward
we would
sounds.
hear her loud, annoying voice.
As soon as she left the building.
You know what I mean?
But Christopher James Casey, 55, was charged Thursday with causing the death 4 days early of Robert Wallace, who the coroner found had been stabbed several times. Wallace, 62, removed a screen from a window in Casey's home and opened the unlocked window as Casey was eating dinner Sunday. And after a verbal confrontation, Casey stabbed him in the chest with a large military-style knife, according to Upper Moreland Township Police and Montgomery County prosecutors.
Wow.
Police said Casey told them Wallace had not been menacing him or threatening him when Casey stabbed him in the doorway of Casey's home. They had been having personal issues for the past year and a half, prompting several police calls over Wallace's complaints about his snoring. Casey told investigators during an interview Sunday night at Abington Hospital. So yeah, he apparently, this was bad enough, and I don't know what the motivation, but he crawled into this guy's window to confront him during dinner time, I don't know what solution he was expecting by crawling into someone's window.
Right.
You're too loud. I can't imagine.
Well, it sounds like they bickered and bitched at each other.
For sure. There's police
it was probably like when he came in through that window,
it got
the
hot
other
real
guy
quick.
probably fucking knew. Like, oh, this motherfucker's like, I mean.
That's crazy.
I bet you he was knocking on the door and the guy just didn't fucking answer. And so he came to get the job done for sure. I don't even think it was just a confrontation. He wanted to kill him.
But I never get, that's hard for me to suss out these types of like acts of violence based on passion, because so you're having a squabble with your neighbor and your solution is because you feel like you have no out, your solution is to stab them and spend the rest of your life in prison? Like, that's just move.
He obviously sounds like he's not right.
Sell or move. You can't.
In the head. You're not right. He's not right in the head.
You have a beef with that person and you want to, it's not, at that point, it's not about the snoring. You're not trying to solve the problem. Mm-hmm. You have such an anger towards that person that you just want to eliminate them.
Yeah.
Which is all kinds of.
Do you remember when we first moved in here and we're like the new kids on the block, and we had lived next to this like old grumpy old lady.
She might have stabbed us.
And,
I don't know. She was old, but she might have stabbed.
We left the bathroom light on to the hallway because we just had moved in. We were like, we didn't know if like the house was spooky or whatever, and it was just, and we left it on because so the hallway light wouldn't be on. But that way we can go into our daughter's room. It was just like there always would be like a little light on.
We had our reasons. None of our business.
Yeah. And I mean, and our houses are far enough apart. I feel like, but
we're not sharing a wall.
Yeah, she was like comes over. I mean, it's like second, third day we're there, and I had my mom take Clementine. You were at work, and I was painting the house. I was painting the inside, the walls, and I'm like in my zone, all excited, and the neighbor comes over, and I'm just like, oh my god! I think she's introducing herself. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
First thing out of her mouth is like, can you turn your light off at night? You know, it's like your bathroom light is just, you know, it goes right into my bedroom, and like. For me, like automatically, like I was like, of course, like because she was an older lady, especially. But in my head, I was like, shut your blinds, just close your blinds,
Do something else.
you know what I mean? Like I'm not disrupting, and like we're not loud. I mean, we had a baby, so she would cry occasionally, but like, and I just thought like you're not complaining about like our baby crying. It's about a light. Shut your blind. Like it's such an easy fix.
Shut your fucking mouth.
You know
is what
I
it
mean?
is. Shut your fucking mouth.
Close the blinds. If that's not enough, get the fucking blackout blind. Like I just like fix the problem within. You know, it was just so fucking weird to me. I will never I'll never understand. You know, and so like, and I remember we tried, and there was some nights where I left on, and I was like, fuck it. You know,
We're gonna go forth.
yeah.
See what happens.
Yeah, but
Dealing with neighbors can be a nightmare. We're actually fairly lucky because you hear horror stories about neighbors, like just being awful. Yeah. I mean, I don't think we have too big an issue with our neighbors.
Yeah,
and we don't really have any beefs with our neighbors.
No, and we definitely like when there are issues, we just kind of keep our distance because it's like, like it's not big enough issues. If it is like, I'm the first to like say something, but like I always try to do it in like a respectful way. You know, it's mostly based around our children because most of our neighbors have kids, but it's like, it's not, I don't know. But I'm not one of those person that goes up and down the street trying to get to know all the neighbors.
No, I don't
either,
give a shit.
You know,
I don't. If
I'm
I
just
need to
too
know you, I'll
busy
know
for
you.
that. I can't.
I don't need.
I just can't. You know.
Although I do. I mean, it's cooled down, but I was pretty upset at the lady who kept letting her dog shit on our house. That was close.
It seemed like a lot of people had issues with her.
Yeah,
but
there's a person
sneaking through her window and killing her. That's different.
I would never do that. For the record, if she turns up, that was not me because I would never do that.
But she definitely has some fucking issues. She's a weird lady.
We have some weird ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have some weird ones. We have some potential serial killers. We have a crack house, so that's fun.
Yeah.
Or actually, extra is a meth house at this point.
Yeah.
Hey, you want to hear a more lighthearted story though?
Sure.
I don't know if you heard this one, but did you hear about the another flight that this again gets us to the fact that flying on a plane now is like a Greyhound in the sky. It's a shitty experience.
Well, it just makes you wonder how long this stuff's probably been happening.
Sure.
But now we have social media.
Now we have social media, and now I think it's social media. I think it's people just, so many people take flights now. It's so common that it's just churning out passengers. So you're going to get all walks of life. It's just going to be a hodgepodge of people. But I want you to guess, why do you think the flight had to turn around? Take a guess on why you think the flight had to turn around.
Better not because of poop.
It's not poop this time.
Throw up.
Throw up this time.
Pee?
No. Oh, no. You're thinking of all the body. You're
What?
probably in the right area. You're definitely in the right area of bodily functions.
What?
An excessively farting passenger forces American airline flight to turn around.
No.
This is from New York
Because of
Post.
farts?
Because of farts. An American Airlines plane was reportedly forced to return to the gate due to high wind. Stop being fucking clever.
I win.
A disgruntled passenger's smelly farts. The big stink over the flatulent flyer unfolded while a recent flight from Phoenix to Austin was...
Is there a picture of the person? Because all I'm picturing is a big ass, a big fat ass.
Produced that much wind.
And a man.
So this was, I guess apparently they didn't even leave the ground. Before most people had boarded, I observed that this man was audibly disgruntled about something. Maybe hungover, rough day, IDK, I don't know. But as soon as he sat down, he was grumbling about something under his breath, like fucking hell or something. After the majority of the passengers had boarded, the man reportedly exclaimed, "You thought that was rude? Well, how about this?"
Wait, who is he talking to about being rude?
I don't know, but he shouted on the plane, "You thought that was rude? Well, how about this smell?" And proceeded to pass gas.
So they didn't even leave.
I don't know what provoked that comment, and while kind of funny to overhear, it was uncalled for, especially coming from a grown man on an airplane nonetheless, that the user wrote. But the excessively farting passenger's gross behavior didn't end there. The man who just purposefully farted moments ago decided to loudly and condescendingly say, "Yeah, everybody, let's just eat the smelliest food possible all at the same time."
Oh my God.
A guy in the row over replied, if you don't like it, you can fly private," to which Fart Man says, "That's so fucking rude." So people started shouting. And another person nearby chimed in, "I think we'd all agree you're the rude one here," the witness said. So this is more about, I think this is more about the fight than the fart. They're shouting at each other.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Smell my farts." Essentially, he's like shouting that he's farting. At one point, flight attendants intervened and told the transgressor, "That's enough." The plane was taxiing through the runway, but came to a stop. According to the Redditor, an announcement comes over saying, "Apologies for the interruption, but we are returning to the gate. We will give you more information when we have it." We get back to the gate, and the flight attendant comes back and informs Fart Man that he will not be staying on this flight. He simply replies, "I don't understand," and she tells him they'll talk about it off the plane.
Wow.
We're all breathe a sigh of relief when he was removed. I think most people were on edge about what he may say or do next. The trip was only delayed 15 to 30 minutes. So all in all, I think American Airlines handled it swiftly.
He probably lost his fucking shit though.
Well, was that on purpose?
No.
He's got it. Yeah, he's having some breakdown stuff. If you're announcing that you're farting and you're like, "Fucking smell this shit."
People are just fucking ghetto though. Like,
It's hilarious. It's hilarious, but I think you would be pissed on that flight. You would for sure be pissed on that flight. I would probably be laughing. So I would
be repulsed.
I would yell out.
It was like, to me, it's worse.
It's awful.
It's worse, but like we had a little date day yesterday.
Yeah.
And we decided, you already know. We went to this like Thai restaurant. It's our local Thai restaurant. Like we've been going there for like what, 15 years now?
A long time. Yeah.
Longer.
At the Willie's. Yeah, we've been going there a while. Long stretch.
And I don't know, just it's like very chill, relaxed.
Yeah, very chill for that
atmosphere.
Guy, for sure.
And this guy comes and sits down like behind us. You know, we go all the way to the corner. We're always like trying to get away from everybody.
Yeah.
And this guy comes and sits down right next to us in the booth right behind us. And I mean, every couple minutes he's belching.
Like
and
audibly.
He's by himself. You know, he's pleasant, and it's not like he's an asshole. He's pleasant to the waitress. But he just is fucking burping. And I'm looking at you like, no wonder he's fucking single. No wonder this motherfucker is alone. Like read the room. And me and you were laughing and like grossed out.
Up.
And we're blatantly like turning around like gross. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like I've never been in an atmosphere like that. The one time like my daughter belched when we were at fucking, where were we? Arby's. Like we were like, it was just us and this old couple in the restaurant, and she burped really loud. And I just was like, and she didn't know. So it was like, I'm teaching, right? That's what parents are here for. Like I'm teaching her that's like, you know, not etiquette. Like you could do that at home, but not in public. You need to be respectful, especially if the elderly people were staring at us like, how disrespectful for your daughter to burp.
Yeah,
and so it's like, you know, we have this conversation. So to see a grown ass man And he kept doing it. And then he's just like locked into his phone and
He was
whatever.
oblivious. He didn't.
And it's like he was oblivious but didn't give a fuck. Like
No,
he
he
was
didn't
just
care.
like just living his fucking life by himself because nobody fucking wants to date that. Like, and then the booth behind him, you had the slurpers. They were just slurping on their soup, like, but it was like not like, oh, this tea's like a little bit too hot for me to have. It was like, like to the point me and you again were like turning our heads. We're like, what is going on in this restaurant?
Yeah, it gave me the giggles. I think if I were on that plane flight, I think I would get the giggles for sure. I'd be like,
Not with the smell. You probably get grossed the fuck out.
I'd be laughing.
It would be funny if you were like on the opposite side and heard it, but didn't have to smell it.
But I think if I didn't have to smell it, I would encourage it. I would just like, give us another.
One for the road.
One for the road. I would probably give it, as he was being escorted off the plane, I'd probably give him a standing ovation
Oh, they probably did.
for the greatest performance ever. I'm trying to pull up a picture because I found a news article.
Oh, no.
Because Reese's released Valentine's Day count candy. And we'll post it. We'll post this picture on social media once I find it. But they released a nice Valentine's Day candy, which is sweet, right? To give your loved one and stuff. Well, some people had some complaints about the Valentine's Day candy because they made cute little hearts. People are saying it looks like something else, and I want you to take a glance and tell me what you think that looks like. The Valentine's
Balls.
They look like a pair of balls. so Reese's is getting some flack for making candy that is essentially testicles to give to your loved one.
I'm gonna buy them.
I want them. I want to get some. Can you purchase them? I want to buy chocolate testicles. Hold on. You can. They're at Target.
Yes.
We'll give
Let's get those balls.
Let's get them balls. Yeah, it's disgusting, but I still want to eat them.
Eat those balls.
Eat them balls for Valentine's Day. We're not. Oh, do we need to declare again? I think we've declared already that we're not into Valentine's Day.
I love Valentine's Day. I think.
Wait, what?
Well, I think it's cute. I think it's.
I'm not offended. I'm just surprised.
I think because we have a kid, so it's like cutesy stuff. But like for us to go out, no.
Yeah, it's a.
And it's always like, I feel like when I tell people that, they're always so like oh, like almost like, oh, maybe they don't have a good marriage or something like that. Like it's the
actually
weird,
the opposite. You son of a bitch.
it's like the weirdest thing. Like they always are just like, oh, and I was like, it's not. I was like, it's not because we don't like we want to be together.
Yeah.
I was just like, but I feel like it's everybody complains about the prices are so much more expensive. It's hard to get into restaurants. So it's kind of like I'm glad that we never really celebrated it because it seems like just such a drag.
Yeah, it's just and it's
I'm feeling
always
forced to like
that's the thing.
buy me chocolates and a stuffed toy. Like no.
That's the thing. It's the I think our original concept for being anti is it forces people who aren't romantic to be romantic.
Yeah,
like
you have to. Like it's like, it's this commercial holiday, and if you don't, it's like, people fucking will get divorced over that shit. It's so weird.
100%. And it's just there's a lot of pressure. It's crowded everywhere as all hell. Like it's just crowded. It's a no-go for us.
And I told you, like, I've been giving you all of my past relationship trauma.
Yeah, you've been dishing it out. Today.
It was a traumatic 2.5 years for your very first relationship.
Yeah.
I was treated like shit. Like the more and I think about it, so like having a Valentine for like the first time. You do you think you'd be excited to like celebrate, right?
Yeah.
Like, it'd be like, oh, I've never done this before. I've never had a Valentine. Like, I don't know. I've never celebrated Valentine's Day. What do we do? You know what I mean? And for somebody to kind of shit on that, like, so for me, that person like made me hate it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, I don't want to be in a relationship where there's these high expectations for a commercialized holiday and, just feeling like shit. You know? So it's like a lot of it like stemmed from my aggression from that relationship, which just like killed it for me, you know. But so like, but I don't go into those deep details to everybody. I'm just kind of like, yeah, we don't celebrate. It's not. It's like, you know.
Yeah.
And people are just like, oh.
I mean, it's just it's a holiday that's, like you said, it's manufactured.
And my birthday's the next week, so trust me, we make up for it.
No, yeah, no, we do. Every day's Valentine's Day for you, because it's your birthday month. I stumbled on this today, and this is just showing the idiocracy of social media. I grabbed this from Sky News. Apparently, officials are saying don't eat fried toothpicks, which is a TikTok trend sparking health warnings.
Oh God.
Yeah. South Korea's food ministry has urged people not to eat green fried toothpicks after TikTok users shared videos of themselves doing so. Once deep fried, the toothpicks made from either sweet potato or cornstarch resemble jade-colored skinny curly fries. Clips showing people eating them have received thousands of likes and shares on social media. Of course, it's fucking viral. It's all that remember that NyQuil chicken shit? The toothpicks, which are seen as being environmentally friendly and biodegradable, are often on tables in Korean restaurants and can also be used to pick up finger food. Okay. According to local media, an ingredient called sorbitol is used, and while it is harmless in small amounts, it can cause vomiting, diarrhea, and inflammation if overconsumed. Online eating shows called mukbang, which often feature people eating excessive amounts of food or unusual dishes, are popular in South Korea. Would you watch that?
I think I've seen like clips of it. I've seen, because like I remember seeing like the hashtag. I was like, what is this? And so people
Have you seen this toothpick thing?
No, not the toothpick.
Just other stuff. Yeah. It's crazy. Like this. I mean, it gets into the social media ramping up all this.
Why did they decide to use a toothpick? Why don't? It's just weird.
Because it looks fun. It looks fucking fun. Like, and I'm sure someone in their head were like, it's biodegradable. It's supposed to be non-harmful, but you're not supposed to be wolfing them down.
Yeah.
I think at that point, you're in trouble. It's just all these, what people do on social media to get likes.
Oh my
it's
God.
insane.
I know.
I watch so many, like, because I'm obsessed with the sadness of it. I watch so many, like, just wild fucking people on TikTok live, just doing wild shit, being extremely
a lot of ones
bizarre.
That you follow and watch are people that this is the saddest part.
What's the saddest part of this?
That these people think that their followers genuinely are following them because they're talented.
Oh, sure.
And the reality of it is that they're extremely not talented and they're a joke.
It's ironic.
And
I don't get it.
And they're comedic to everybody else.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of like it's so sad to watch them. What's it? Vampira?
Yeah.
And the boyfriend.
And blood. Vampire and blood.
My God. Like it. Oh gosh. If you guys watch them, you just want to like tell them like stop.
I think some people know. I think one of the saddest parts is I think some people know that they're being laughed at.
Yeah.
And some people know that they're being watched because people think it's bizarre. But they're so addicted to the likes and the viewers and stuff like that they don't want to stop.
Yeah.
Because they like those.
Yeah.
They like that attention, and they're essentially seeking to be heard, which is super sad. And like any way you get heard, even if people are laughing at you, people are watching you.
I know it's there's a lot of them on there, and it's really. And I find myself laughing, but at the same, it's like I feel bad for them.
Of course.
You know, so that's the.
But I'm addicted to those videos. I'm addicted to the people who are just like doing one of my biggest, the kick that I was on a few months ago because of that. Do you remember that there was a trend like the gang thing and that like where they were on TikTok where they would like get like the stickers that they would get like hearts or they would get like peppers and they would like react to it.
Yeah.
I was so addicted to the people who were doing that, but they weren't good at it. And they were just like weird and stuff like that. I was so addicted to those videos where they were just doing it, but they were doing it so badly. And there was maybe like 10 people watching, 100 people watching, and they're just waiting for a pepper to come in or whatever. And once it comes in, they're awful at it. And it's just, I was addicted to those videos. When people were trying to jump on the train, I'm sorry. I couldn't stop watching. But thank you so much for watching this. Hopefully we aren't a fucking train wreck. We're a little bit of a train wreck, but not in that way. You could find us on social media at ExtraNormal Podcast on all the social media chains. You can find us, or you can email us, at extranormalpodcast@gmail.com. Make sure if you're listening or you're watching, like, subscribe, all that good stuff to make sure you get the latest notifications on when we post and when we maybe go live every blue moon. But thank you so much for watching and listening.